What is what does success look like for a client versus a supplier? And maybe break it down into the delivery day versus the end of the show.
When nobody says anything or like doesn't have any like specific nags about the booth, basically that's a win. It's the biggest compliment you can get on the booth, right?
This is Beire Behind the Scenes, where we uncover and discuss trends in the European exhibition market and talk with some of the most experienced event professionals around. Today, I'm joined with Matěj, who has a really unique perspective on the entire European exhibition market, having started with Beire for almost a decade, and then moving to the client side for a number of years, and is now back as a senior account manager at Beire with us. Welcome, Matěj. What does success look like for a client versus a supplier? And maybe break it down into the delivery day versus the end of the show. Because you always think that the two would be the same, but I'm interested in your perspective on that.
Well, basically, when there is what I've learned, I'm not saying it's everywhere, but what I've learned is that basically when nobody says anything or like doesn't have any like specific nags about the booth, basically that's a win. It's the biggest compliment you can get on the booth, right? After the exhibition, when we are all back in the offices, we can discuss what could go better. Then there is the compliment you can actually get, but you also the learning perspective for me.
So you're talking that's the handover. That's the handover.
Yeah,
Okay.
from a let's say internal point of view, like when I was organizing this, and also the difference, like it doesn't end with the handover of the stand, which I was used to. It's like, here it is. You're
Exactly.
happy. Okay, great. I'm going home. Good luck with the fair and stuff like. But actually, my days were actually coming, because the actual part was the exhibition.
Exactly.
That's what I actually learned, because there's a small group of people that is actually organizing the booth itself, but the most crucial part comes after the handover.
Yeah.
Actually, the trade show.
Yeah, I think that's so hard for exhibit houses to really understand, because as much as we build them and we can be there and watch. Of course we go through the shows. It's a very different perspective when you're on the booth.
Exactly.
Managing what's going on and seeing how that business tool is being used in real time.
Yeah, but everything needs to be very, very much organized, like from the internal point of view. I mean, I was like, of course, it was not my task only, but local marketing is like when people are arriving to the booth, they automatically need to get a name badge. They need to have a thing. You put the suitcase right there. You need to have a space for the suitcase. Everything had to be really nice and smooth. You have a meeting at 10 a.m. Your meeting room is booked and stuff like that. So it was a plan, a schedule minute after minute, and that was really new to me.
Yeah. But I also think it's such a unique perspective, because you were there, you actually saw how the booth was being used to facilitate business. And I think that's a perspective that it's really hard on the supplier side to really get. You can see it, but I think being able to actually do it, I think, is just so unique, and gives you a good perspective on that. Okay. Matěj, thank you very much for the discussion. It's really interesting to hear your lessons from being on the client side and supplier side. We are so pleased that you're back at Beire, and look forward to talking to you again soon.